Hey everybody, this is Jason coming at you with a weather update about some of the interesting weather that's coming up this weekend possibly. Right now it's very warm outside. Temperatures currently at the house are 63 degrees at going on 11 o'clock at night. So enjoy this. Tomorrow's going to be very nice. Showers around. Highs could go up into the 70s. Still kind of rare. But we do have big changes on the way. One of the big changes is we have a front coming through. It's going to come through sometime late Saturday evening. That's going to really drop our temperatures down. And we've got another wave of moisture coming up. So anytime we have this cold air and moisture coming together here in North Carolina, we know that breeds problems. So let's kind of go in. I'm going to make this kind of a short weather video. We've kind of mentioned this last week. This could be a possibility. A lot of the models have gone back and forth, still continue to go back and forth, so it's kind of hard to get a grasp on exactly what's going on. Today the modeling is kind of leaned more towards more cold air being in place, so we got to watch that. One thing to note is this does not look like a snow event. It looks more like a freezing rain or cold rain event. It's going to be kind of hard to get anything else in there because we're going to have a lot of warm air coming up to this from the south and overrunning the cold air. This situation may be similar to the one we just had last week when we had more of a freezing rain type event versus snow. And we're going to kind of go over some of the models here. I'm going to try not to get too technical with you. With this, one of the things that I look at here, this comes from a site where it shows the surface plume, and with the modeling, this is a combination of 4 models. And it kind of gives you the average of what they think is going to happen. In this one here, it shows precipitation type. We have freezing rain, sleet mix, snow, and rain. And this is for the Greensboro station. As we can see here, the possibilities starting with 0 hour right now, these are the rain possibilities. The red is freezing rain, and the pink is going to be your sleet freezing rain mixed. So as we go forward, you see obviously the temperatures aren't cold enough to produce snow or any kind of freezing rain. We have a pretty good chance, 60% chance, of rain coming in tomorrow and Saturday. But as we go through in time here, we see that Sunday morning, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, we have the freezing line possibility that really starts to spike up. It goes from 0% up to 29%, up to 55% to 60%. So that's what this is saying, is we have a 60% chance of freezing rain occurring within this area, and that's pretty significant. And then it kind of levels off. Latest model runs are kind of showing this to be a little bit more extended than it was before. Before it was looking like a brief period of freezing rain. Now it's looking like it could be more of a prolonged event. Now remember, it takes 1/4 of an inch of freezing rain before it starts becoming a problem on trees and power lines. So that's something else we're going to have to pay attention to. And we can see some of the previous model runs. If we go back in time, it didn't have as much. They had it down around a 40% chance. And then the model run before that had it down to less, it had down to 31% chance. So each model run is increasing the likelihood of the freezing rain that could be coming up. Now if we look at the precipitation type, which we're looking at now, we can also pull up what the temperatures are thinking, the mean temperatures. These are a model spread of what all these different models are showing what they think the temperatures are going to be. And of course the middle you have the mean, which is where most forecasters forecast what the mean temperatures are going to be. So going ahead into the Sunday time frame, the models are ranging anywhere from 38.31 all the way down to 27.8. So that's a big difference, but the mean in there, when we're looking for the freezing rain, is looking 31.56. That's below freezing, and that's kind of like an average of what all the models are saying, which is giving us our chance of freezing rain for this weekend. Another generator we look at is the precipitation type, and I got this set up for hourly freezing rain accumulation forecast. And once again, this is a combination of models, and we look at all of them and come up with the mean, or what the average will be. As we see here, of course, going in to now, no ice possibilities. But as we go forward in time, we see that our freezing rain chances significantly increase Saturday night and early Sunday morning. And over here, on the part of the graph, we see the amounts in inches. Now, we have one model run showing as much as a half an inch of freeze rain. If this were to verify, we would have tree limbs coming down, we would have power problems. The mean at this time is a little under 4/10, or a little over 4/10 of an inch. And we have some outlier models going to maybe a trace to 2/10 of an inch. So, we kind of go in the middle there, and this is once again showing more than it was previous runs. The last event we had a little more than 1/10 of an inch. So if we have as much as 5/10 or half an inch, that's 4 times worse than what we just went through this past week. So it's something to definitely keep an eye on without getting too technical here. Now this is the weather map coming up for Sunday, early Sunday morning. One thing I want to point out to you here. If you see these little lines kind of buckling in right there, that's showing that, okay, up here we have a high pressure system in the north that's funneling down the cold air. When you see these buckles right there, it's showing that that cold air is getting wedged up against the mountains. And then we have moisture there. Now, one interesting thing to note is what has been kind of saving us lately and causing this warmer than normal air. Over here we have what's called the southeast ridge, and around that high pressure, since high pressures flow counterclockwise, we have a southwest wind coming off the Gulf, kind of keeping us warm. It's beautiful. So if we go back and look, we can see that southeast ridge just sitting there and continuously pumping up warm air. Now that could be our saving grace, the southeast ridge. If that holds in place and is stronger than this high pressure system in the north, we're looking at cold rains. So it's going to kind of be a battle of the high pressures, and as far as what kind of precipitation we're going to have. If we see here, there is one lone model that's saying, hey, we can still see snow out of this. If you let that loop through, we can see late Sunday, this says maybe we can have a trace of snow. But I think this model is thinking more of the sleet, which if the cold air gets thick enough, like I showed last week, we could get a period of sleet in there as well. Moving on, this will be our last frame. Here's another thing that we look at for long range. This month looks to be very, very interesting. There's so many systems out there, so many storms out there. The potentials are just out there to get wintry events for the rest of this month. This is the North Atlantic Oscillation. We look at that to see the cold air that could dive down into the eastern United States and form storms off the east coast that are conducive to snow and ice in our area. We see right now we're currently positive. That's why we are kind of warm out there. But if we look into the future, it dips down to the negative. That shows us that there is a possibility out there that we could see some winter type precipitation. So we put all this together. Right now, I'm going to say that with each model run getting closer to the event, showing more substantial freezing rain, I would kind of start to worry about being a higher impact event. It depends on how long it lasts, depends on how much cold air can get down here and how much cold air can stay down in here. Right now I'm kind of thinking maybe we could have a advisory type criteria met Sunday morning where the National Weather Service may either issue a freezing rain advisory or a winter weather advisory. Maybe as soon as tomorrow evening. We'll have to wait and see what they do. But that's kind of my thinkings right now. Now, if the model runs still continue to trend where that cold air is going to be locked into place longer, then we could be looking at winter storm watches going up or winter storm warnings. But it's kind of outlying right now. This is just kind of 2 model runs that have trended more cold. So we're going to have to see if that trend stays in tomorrow. And if it does, then we'll have to increase the ice amounts. So it's something that we're definitely going to keep an eye on. But once again, I'm kind of thinking that we are going to hit winter weather advisory criteria come Sunday morning. Be careful when you're thinking about going out to early church services, as some of the bridges could be impacted like usual. If it's a longer type duration, then we're going to have to worry about tree limbs coming down and power outages like they're having out in the Midwest right now. That's it for now. Hope it wasn't too technical. I'll keep you updated. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Share this video if you would like. I love answering weather questions. Just send them on through. You guys have a good night and God bless.